guys, you know about this?
And to cheat. They're offering sometimes literal children, 16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, life-changing money.
I'll pay you 20k to underperform.
Thousands of dollars for a single game, just to throw a single game.
It's ready for you when you want it.
While these people are also profiting hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on how
Match in two-way. I didn't show who, but you can see it's Valorant.
long
230k, and then you guys are telling me this ain't happening in listen, you people say to me this ain't happening in CS when CS has 10 times more tournaments, 10 times, 100 times more shady people, right? It has a bigger scene with the skins where you can do this stuff with the skins, and Valve don't even check out anything that's happening. They never banned anybody after the iBuyPower thing. And you think that it's not as bad in Counter-Strike. It's 50 times worse from everything that I know. 50 times worse.
this has gone on for, or how far it truly extends, it's likely to be millions by this point. This is literally the kind of scandal that could kill competitive gaming in Valorant. It started when I investigated 2 people.
Bro, if somebody investigates CS, it's dead.
Let's zoom out for a quick second. For those of you who don't follow professional competitive Valorant, you might be wondering, what even is Tier 2 Valorant? We'll start with Tier 1, right? This is VCT, the professional leagues, and we've got a few of those, right? We have VCT China, Pacific, EMEA for Europe. We have VCT Americas, which encompasses, all of NA, LATAM, and Brazil. Now, Tier 2 is challengers, and it is possible to make it into VCT from Tier 2. I mean, it's possible to even do it from Premier within the game. You and your friends could, grind through Premier, end up in a qualification game for challengers. I mean, this has literally happened multiple times in the last year. It's an amazing system for bringing up players.
Amazing system for bringing up players. Valve, do you hear this? Do you hear? Because Valve was surprised. The developers of CS were surprised that people are playing Premier. You guys like Premier? Oh, we thought you would play the other modes we put in the game. And the players like, which modes? Deathmatch, guys. Deathmatch. You can go and shoot. Pew, 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 pew. And the brain, the developer is over there like, he's sipping on an empty drink. He's like, we thought that would be interesting. Today's video is sponsored by RainGG. Rain is one of the fastest growing CS2 case opening sites. Besides fun case openings, they offer game modes like case battles, upgrader, and doubles. Rain gives players free daily, weekly, and monthly cases. If you sign up with my code LOBA, you get 3 free cases and 5 deposit bonus. The site supports instant deposit and withdrawals using skins or crypto. If you want to try Rain, click the first link in the pinned comment and use code LOBA to claim your rewards. Please remember, loot boxes sites can be addictive, so make sure you're over 18 and only spend money you can afford to lose. Good luck.
Once you're in Tier 2, the goal is...
How you go pro in CS? How you go pro in CS? Now, you don't have FPL, FPLC, Premier full of cheaters. How? You can't.
The Ascension Tournament. And just like the name suggests, the whole purpose is to ascend up into VCT. However, it's only one team per year in the entire region of Americas, not even just North America. So we're talking challenger leagues that are running simultaneously in North America, LATAM, and Brazil. From that, 2 teams from each of those will meet into the Ascension Tournament. So zooming in, you can see Tier 1, Tier 2, the teams and the players in Tier 2, and their DMs. Let's get back to the investigation on those 2 people.
Bro, this is interesting. This is interesting. I like. Not yet.
This is my good old friend Bray, aka One of One Bray, aka Bray on Chain. He is the guy that's reaching out to everyone, and this right here, this is what his Twitter looked like. Well, at least for last week, before he deleted a lot of the incriminating evidence. He follows pretty much everyone in the Tier 2 scene. You can only see about 50 people deep. You can even see several that I found that were following back before people started realizing that I was onto this whole thing. These days, you're not going to see any of that, right? It's pretty much all wiped clean. Thanks to some very amazing people that reached out to me, though. Behind the scenes, we actually have evidence of Bray reaching out to at least 4 different players to fix matches. So Teague, who currently plays for Landor, and Practo, who's on Burger Boys, have actually helped me quite a bit in this investigation. And they deserve all the praise in the world for doing that. I'm really hoping the community takes care of these too. I'm working with them actively to craft conversations in their DMs, and these are how our conversations with Bray went. So here you can see, this is how Bray opened up the conversation with Practo, right? Showing and flaunting these Burger Boys bets against Blue Otter. Drops all 3 of the 10 grand bets for a 2-0 for Burger Boys to beat Blue Otter, and says, "Thank you, Practo. Love you." And then Practo says, jokingly back, "I got you, bro. This time only, though." This is Practo joking completely, by the way, up top. And then that's when Bray takes over and says, "Yo, Practo, you got Discord? Add me, twin. I'm always here. Just saying, you can make a mil at 19. Yo, Teague, let's make 100K each in your next game. What's your Discord? I got 20K for you." Imagine you're one of these young kids, you don't have a salary, and this gem enters. From there, he'll actually take it over to Discord, where you can see Bray starts off, "Sup, G? Landor have any games coming up?" Maybe Challenge is kind of dead at the moment with playoffs starting soon, so we don't have any VCL matches till July. Split 3, July 4, right? What I do is pay Challenger players. For example, I'll send a bet slip real quick. Hold on. So when you have a close game, for example, you're playing a good team, I'll pay you 20K to underperform. 10 before the game and 10 after the game. If the odds are good, I can get you 30 for a game. I don't want to get cut for playing poorly since I did shit last split. But is there any way to do it and win? And Bray says, "We have streamer accounts on multiple sports books. So that's how we can bet 6 figures plus on Challenger games." And that's the secret sauce right there. And that's a big takeaway, is these streamer accounts on the betting sites are how these guys are capable of even dropping.
This is what I got asked for. I'm keeping it real. And I said no, because I work with legit companies and I don't want to put them in that position. I don't want to do something like that. I got the same offer in CS and I'm not even a pro player. I got the offer to use my money, to use my streamer accounts, and to get back 5x the amount I put in. So they wanted to pay me for that and I said no. So I had this offer as well in CS without even being a player. So imagine if you're a player, what you're getting.
Upping bets is big on Challenger games. And Bray says, "Nah, LOL," to Teague's message. But if it's like a close game 50-50 and you're playing a good team, it wouldn't look crazy if you had an unlucky game, you feel me? Or just to get Teague one-tapped on their eco round. Yeah, I get what you mean. Like subtle shit. That makes a difference in the round, but not to most watching it. Yeah, you know what I mean. Can bet maps too. So if you play bad for one map, or I just said throw an eco round accidentally on map 1, so you could just shit the bed one map and still win and make money? And Bray says, yes, we should lock in for real. We will speak more about numbers and shit, about maps, when odds come out for your games. Everything makes sense now. There was some crazy upsets this split. Motherfuckers were getting their bags. And Bray goes, yeah, bro. Fucking like Prosperity Esports in Burger Boys and shit. Bam. And just like that, 2 of them found. Thank you so much, Bray. Bray on May 14th to Teague. It's ready for you when you want it. This guy literally put Teague's wallet and 20 grand ready to send to Teague. And this is what he's constantly enticing you, right? He's not leaving these leads dead. And you can see, yeah, I understand. I work with a few Valorant players at the moment, and this is on May 1st. I hid the team for privacy reasons, but let me know if you want to run up a fucking bag together. And he flaunts this right here bet. Holy shit. The payout for this, $230,188.10. This guy placed a bet not on the series, but on map 2, when a team was winning 5-3. That's how you read this. So he's going to get 1.72 times what this number is, which is what he staked up. And he's betting.
Bro, whoever is doing this on Shuffle is a piece of. I got offered on Shuffle to do it, and even before Shuffle, I said never. I will never do that. to a site where I play or what I do. Because I'm hurting that site. I'm hurting the players on that site. I will never do that, bro. Never. Whoever did this is a piece of shit.
At a time of the series where it was 1-0, the second map, and the score was 5-3. And you can see, do you know anyone else that would be interested? I'll cut you in profit, obviously. I mean, it doesn't even have to be that the specific person's doing it. You just have to refer a friend. You get a signing bonus. Everything is anonymous, and you will make minimum 5 figures per game. Please delete messages. Whenever you want to be driving a Lambo, you know the guy to go to. And then he hits him up again on the 19th. I am recording this on the 21st. This guy is still messaging people. And this is regarding the playoffs of North American Challengers, even though he knows I know. He knows I know. He literally has a clip talking about me to my players. He's playing ranked to this day on Riot Game servers.
Yo, Paint, how do you feel about the
Match
current
point.
stage of
Let's
Tier
end
2
our
Valorant?
misery.
I think, honestly, it's in a really bad state.
Sean Garrett thinks the same thing.
But I think I can understand people's reasonings behind what they do. Because it was already in a bad state beforehand.
I'm really helping the community. Like,
He's offering.
This is how procrastination.
Bro, scary stuff. And when I tell you this is happening in CS, because in CS there's more money, there's skins, and it's more tournaments, and it's more teams, you guys don't believe. You guys are like, Loba's full of shit. And then the ban waves happen, and the players get banned say, yo, Loba said already about this a while back. Yo, Loba already said the blasters come back. Yo, Loba already said CS2 is trash, we'll never have an anti-cheat, CS2 is 64 tick. Yo, Loba already said that Premier will suck and we'll never be able to play it. Loba already said FPL is dead and Face It is filled with cheaters and match fixers, and everything came true, bro. But you know what? Listen to Mr. Guys, keep it positive, you know, one day game will be great. I love this game changed my life. I lost weight thanks to this game. Listen to him, bro. He's not saying it for the money, right? He's not saying it for the money. He's not saying it because Blast is paying him salaries and he's going to events and never touching the game. No, he's not saying it for that. He's saying it's because he loves the game.
$50,000 for this game. $40,000 guaranteed. $40,000 to lose map 1. And I'm going to bet Burger Boys money line for 20K. Just for fun. Just for fun, though. Just for funsies. When down 1-0. And he does this to change the odds, right? Those live odds. You can bet live in the game. That's how sinister this really is. Let me know ASAP. And Practo responds shortly after. I'm good. Thanks for the offer, though. And you can see as the conversation progresses here, if the players get a little finicky, they get worried. Bray literally tells them, delete all these messages. You don't need to keep this here. Let's move our messages to Telegram. No one's gonna catch us there. This is the message that you'll see a lot. Everything's going on is crazy right now. Let's move combos to Telegram. So he's moving everything to Telegram. And this is May 16th, just days after Riot started their investigation. And this is what I was fearful of. The second these guys know that you're onto them, whoop, everything is gone. Nothing is left. No proof of anything. And if you didn't record it, you're too late. And these people are a little bit scared, right? If I get caught doing this, I'm going to lose my livelihood. You know, I could lose all of this time I sunk in. So you're worried about getting leaked? Just DM me on Telegram, this encrypted peer-to-peer chat messaging program where, you know, we can talk there about throwing this game and cryptocurrency and how untraceable it could be. You know, it is very difficult to catch this. So just because the Discord messages are empty doesn't mean anything to me, truthfully. I mean, I've seen it back in the IBA Power days where, you know, the players denied it for months and months and months and, you know, dragged the community through the mud. And it wasn't until a leaked text message from an ex-girlfriend where it all came crumbling down. It's hard to believe that a lot of these people just had conversations die out when I see how this guy's treated convos with both Practo and Teague. Just constantly keep going, keep asking, prodding. That's gonna bring us into our next part. That's how the conversation goes, but truthfully, people like Bray are also connected to crypto groups. And those groups are connected and run by people like this guy, Cooker Flips. And he is the founder of Pastel Alpha, which is a crypto trading group where they give people suggestions on like what cryptocurrencies to buy. In my experience, I've been in crypto for quite a while. These types of groups lose you money because the people running the groups are the first to buy crypto. And if you buy first and you dump on the guy that buys second, well, that guy's stuck holding your bag and then needs to get someone to buy at a higher price than he bought it. So the people that often start these groups have a lot of purchasing power. They'll buy heavy into the crypto ahead of time at very low cost. And then when you come into the group and get the suggestion, they're looking for the chart to bump up. They can then kind of slightly sell off onto you, and then you're left holding the bag. I don't really have insight into their crypto group, but I do know that this guy has made some serious bets on these challenger games. Some serious bets on Burger Boys, of all teams. Wow, that is surprising. And what do you know? They're actually playing Blue Otter. That's the team that Fair plays for. So wow, this is so coincidental. And what do you know? He put 30 grand on this game. Holy moly. And also a 2-0, 30 grand? He must have felt really confident about that one. So looking through what's left of some of the stuff on Cooker's profile, you can see a little bit of how this guy operates, right? What's going to happen here, and what you're going to notice, is he actually has some legitimate bets. And what that's all about is, truthfully, he's just washing the money. Think Breaking Bad Walter White, the car wash, right? This guy's trying to take this illegitimate money that is only coming in from challenger games and make it look like he's also making money on other things. Because if you only made millions of dollars on challenger games and you didn't also, lose some on coin flippy VCT games that you're just kind of guessing on, well, then it would look really weird. I speculate that he's kind of washing some of this money, but you can see his profit margins have just got insane in some of it. He's just giving money away all of a sudden on Twitter. Everyone's getting giveaways. And this is an expense for him because he's building his brand, actually. So with free money that he's getting from challenger games. He did bet here on Prosperity, and we do know a thing or two about Prosperity, according to my boy Bray, so that's interesting. They beat our team. You might notice that he has some notable followers, such as Josh RT. And when I saw this, I couldn't believe it, right? I was like, why is Josh following this guy? And so I did indeed get Josh in a call, and I am pretty happy to say I'm fairly confident Josh RT is actually very unlucky in this whole thing, right? They basically reached out and they tried to give him free access to the crypto group. They say it's a very expensive service, and they use him as almost kind of like an advertising method. So right here, you can see him, basically flaunting his open DMs on the stream, live for everyone to see.
What rank am I in Val? I'm ass. I think I'm like silver or bronze. I don't play Val, like seriously. I don't have time to I don't have time to put any effort into these games anymore. Like, no point.
No point. I mean, silver, bronze, doesn't really fucking matter. This guy is just a savant when it comes to picking NA Challenger games. Coin flippy ones too, on the underdogs. He loves the underdogs. It's like that.
Bro, they're crazy, no?
That IQ bell curve. This guy's so far on the left. He's like on the right side with the geniuses. I'm stuck in the middle. I'm getting cooked.
Am I washing? No. I'm not. I told you. I had offers. I even sent it to my manager. I was like, bro, is this for real? He's like, don't get into that. Don't do that. He showed me as well and explained to me how much people are doing that. How much streamers in CS and outside of CS is doing it with CS players. I just didn't know that it's this big in Valorant. In CS, it's 10 times this. Because these numbers, when I look at it as Valorant, they're baby numbers compared to CS. In CS, it's 10 to 50 times worse. But I don't do that. I wouldn't be streaming and gambling and everything else if I was doing that. You never see me even putting bets. I rarely put bets, bro. Rarely. I don't want to be part of it because it's like you're betting on something that's already fixed. The only things that are not fixed is like if you have FaZe Vitality or you have Navi I'm not even sure about Navi because of wonderful he already match fixed. Like you don't know if maybe somebody has something still on him, so they tell him, yo, do this, or will, you know, they'll bully you with the, like, threats into leaking something, because he did do match fixing before and Essig banned his whole team except him, so you never know if somebody has something on him. So I don't know about Navi, but you know FaZe, you know Vitality is legit, you know G2 is legit, Falcons is legit, you know, like the top 5, I would say like top 6-7 teams are okay, but in top 30 there's match fixing, there's cheating, it's all happening.
Why are they betting tens of thousands of dollars on tier 2 Valorant matches when you're bronze and silver? Yeah, why? You don't understand the game and you don't even have time to play. Well, I think we know why. Valorant used to have a lot of money in its peak. At its peak, around like 2020, you know, early quarantine days to 2022, there were so many orgs. And to show that, you can actually go to the subreddit. These are some of the orgs that we've lost since franchising. That is a lot of logos. I am literally getting nerd chills looking at this. These are teams that I co-streamed, I casted when I was...
Since franchising, which is happening within CS because of what Valve are doing, so you see more orgs leaving, less chances for talents to blow up, less ways for you to go pro. You can't go through Premier, no FPL, no FPLC, FaZe is filled with cheaters, Premier is filled with cheaters. Tier 2, Tier 3 match fixing cheating, orgs leaving in Tier 2, Tier 3 because they can't get the points to get into Tier 1 because the money is in Tier 1. And in Tier 2, nobody's controlling all the cheating that's happening within the teams to win the tournaments. So this is close to CS happening. And what I said a million times already, if you look at the whole world, the biggest teams and the biggest players and the most amount of players, CIS. Everywhere else, it's like, woo, way down.
As a caster, orgs that paid serious salaries and have great backing. As you go on, there's just less and less paying opportunities in this space. And what that does is it creates an absolute vacuum of what these guys just sunk.
And honestly, the worst thing is, nobody's talking about it in CS. Like Kassad is talking about it now because he's not paid as much by the tournament organizers and the orgs, and he doesn't have to be silent because he doesn't have a contract with the orgs. The pros don't want to say it publicly. I got DMs from pros saying, thank you for saying this, thank you for saying this instead of us, thank you for talking about Blast, thank you for addressing the Faceit issues. Like, they're saying thank you because they can't talk about it. But you don't see anybody coming out and speaking about it. Even Mr. Journalist Richard Lewis, who is now finally having a job at PGL, he's like deep into Restream Pixels. He's like licking that fool. He's like, bro, I talk online, but in real life, I'm a sweetheart because I'm a tap. And I'm scared to say in real life because I told him, let's meet in real life and talk. And he said, Loba threatened to beat me up in real life. I'm like, bro, talk in real life. Don't be talking over the internet, over the screen, and then in real life you're a sweetheart, you're a teddy bear. Bro, I'm toxic until I meet you. Like, be real in real life as well. Don't be real behind the screen in your little basement with your like bald head, 60-year-old fat belly. Be real in real life and say the same you say online.
In thousands of hours to get paid for. You learned how to be a pro gamer in Valorant, and now there's no money in the scene. And you might miss out on a lot of opportunities in those years that you were doing that. You might have put a relationship on hold. You might have put school on hold. You might have put an important job on hold. You took huge risks thinking that the scene would be what it was, because why wouldn't it at least look somewhat like that? Especially with VCT coming around the corner, right? I mean, VCT's only been around for like 2 years, but the presence of VCT and how all those challenger orgs were trying to get to VCT, once they realized the difficulty and challengers of making it, the actual likelihood of that one team that ascends per region, and just the likelihood of your challenger team doing that, holy, it's rough. Obviously, at this tier 2 level, a feeder league, it's a pillar that's required in any kind of sport, right? Think of like collegiate basketball, collegiate football, anything like that. In traditional sports, they all have these type of circuits to feed up into the pro league where people are taken care of in the lower leagues. That is no longer the case in Valorant, and it's created this vacuum. The veterans that got used to that money are now desperate, right? You've created a lifestyle around expecting that kind of income. You might be locked into some kind of apartment lease. You might be living a lifestyle with a partner that you can no longer live at all because you can't even get paid, period. And the young, inexperienced talent, the pros who haven't really learned their lesson, they're the ones being targeted the most. People like Bray now have you by the balls, though. If you throw that one game, if you listen to him, you are then on the hook. I don't know what he's going to ask you to do in the future, but to think that blackmail isn't an option for these guys is very naive. If they're going to run a criminal ring in cryptocurrency on Telegram and make hundreds of thousands of dollars, which they could go to prison for, why would they not ask you to cheat in a game? They don't care about the game. Cooker doesn't even play the game. He doesn't have time, he says. It doesn't make sense. Bray, I mean, at least he plays the game a good bit, right? We're lucky enough to find him in real ranked matches. Look at his tracker. We can go back to, let's see, performance right here. And you can see about when, I don't know, maybe Bray got some aim training or something. Look at this win percentage jump up from mid-30s down here. Episode 7, Act 1. This guy came back, got a 75% win rate. Bro almost tripled his headshot percentage. I mean, if this was my win percentage on Neon, I think I might main Neon, but you do you, Bray. You're doing great out there. But what happens when the odds and the payouts on betting sites are on the other end? And now you have to win. One of you might just cheat. And that's how we come to our boy fair. And here we have May 13th. Just 2 days before, if you remember, when Bray said things are getting weird and we got to move to Telegram. You might be wondering, how did the guy that reported fair for cheating end up with the statement for fair cheating? And that's a good question, maybe for another day, but you know, it obviously got back to Bray. And you could see right here, I mean, it's just a request to send in information, and Riot earmarked several of the rounds that we will now look at. Buckle up. This is where things get a little bit fun.
I played in every rating in CS2 and although...
Bro, look at the email Valorant writes to their players where they're asking to explain the rounds. Look, they write all of this and then they write this as well, like all of this, and they're asking and they're investigating, they're looking, and they don't even have a slot machine within their game as Valve has. And Valve has 2 developers ruining CS2, bringing it to the ground in gameplay, in match fixing, in cheating, in gambling, in every way. It's at the bottom and nobody's talking about it. I'm the only talking about it. And Casa now.
We will now look at. Buckle up. This is where things get a little bit fun. I'm sure a common question is going to be, how did I stumble into this? Truthfully, it all started with that loss against Blue Water. I don't know, it didn't sit well with me when I signed off the co-stream. So I went back that night and I rewatched the VODs. I have rarely in my career, I can't even remember times where I've got out of a game and I thought the other team was cheating in some kind of way. I believe it to be a loser mentality, and it will hinder growth in any kind of competitive sport. So I try not to cope and use these things as excuses. And honestly, I don't think I ever have in my whole career. But this match was different. I was very confident. The coaches were very confident coming into this match. And I'm looking at this and I just couldn't believe it all. Like, this team caught so many timings and they beat our team, who came into this match very, very prepared. Honestly, super prepared for a lot of the stuff Fair ended up doing even. But he just caught immaculate timings across the map, took space in ways that I've never seen anyone take space while using zero utility. So that's when I decided, okay, I have to dive into this, Blue Otter game against Burger Boys. What I'm about to show you is bizarre. Now, what you're gonna notice here is Bob over here at Dish, send it. absolutely send it. I don't know if I've seen anyone do this. She runs it down and drones from this aggressive spot, the stealth drone on Teo. Now, this drone is seen by everyone. You know, it sees the Cypher, it sees people in the deep lines. And so you would think that Bob solo dish and no one around to push would just respect that and let it go. No, not at all. Bob sends it. The gun isn't even out when you look at Bob through the wall. And on your screen, that's fair. I just watched this one round and I couldn't even believe it. I mean, this looks absurd. Absurd. And so again, at this point, I'm pretty interested. It keeps getting crazier. Round 6. Again, they're just sending it. They're just sending it. Knife out. Like, what? You're playing against a Breach, Teo, Neon. I mean, this is insane.
But listen. I don't know the game, but I just want to see. I don't understand what's happening because I don't know Valorant. These magics, drones, werewolves, pets, dogs, flying monkeys, and ninja turtles. I don't understand it, but let me try to understand it.
Why are they not counter-utiling is what I'm thinking. So they're just sitting here. I mean, Bob hits some miraculous shots, I'm not going to lie, to get those 2 kills. But then you keep watching, and you can see, even though there's a neural theft, even though 3 people were spotted, or I'm sorry, 2 extra people were spotted dish, they end up getting that kill on Zeke, who into them. But if you watch Brimstone, watch Zoe Stoll, running with knife out right now. So they get the spike, running knife out. The gun isn't even out. Now, that is crazy. That's crazy. I'm just baffled at this point. I cannot believe what I'm seeing.
Are you tired of your
Bro,
boring old
how can there
skins?
be so many ads on YouTube? YouTube, bro.
New ones within.
And this is when I started to realize I don't even think this is a one-person thing anymore. Bob in A main, I'm not even sure what Bob's doing here. Truthfully, like maybe changing the angle of her jiggle, but there's no support. And they're playing a Neon that could run her down. And I mean, watch how this plays out. I mean, so she jiggles out wide, immediately gets stunned, peeks out, dies. This guy peeks out, dies. And, you know, the round's literally just over. This ult is just crazy to me. There's no way that this feels like a good idea. And then the next part of the play is even more wild. So he goes for the Neon, which obviously is just going to run away and live. Even though the Neon had 1 HP, he boom bots through the smoke to give away his spot. Now look at where these other 2 players are here. Do you think those players can trade? Do you think those players can do anything? Of course not. Now this is the guy that was insta-killing everyone on my team. It doesn't even look like the same person right now. This looks like the same person took horse tranquilizers. Then we get to round 18. I mean, things are getting a little close, so it would be kind of crazy if they won this round and got to 9-9 because they do have to win 2-0. So we are in crunch time right now. We must lose, but we have some good util in this comp. So what are we going to do? Well, we can't make it too obvious. We're going to satchel in. We're going to plant immediately. We're going to fake. Going to kill this Cypher. Spike goes down. Now, this is where things get absolutely insane. Now, they have 3 power ults here. Zeke, the Breach, decided it would be an incredible idea to run out of main right here and just shoot his classic and die. Fair plants. And honestly, it has a decent idea for what would be called like a zoning ult in pro play. I actually don't feel like Fair's play in this particular scenario is horrible at the pro level. You know, pulling the ult out to stop the insta flood, giving some time on the post for your teammates to reposition. Also, not a bad ult to shoot. If Practo wasn't full HP, this is a kill. So, hits Practo very low. Now, you might be wondering, How do they lose this post plant with all of this utility? How do they do it? It's almost like you can't even defuse the spike if these guys just layer their utility properly. So let's see. Here we go. We have the Brim Molly landing. Oh, that'll shave off quite a bit of time. The Boombot comes out. That makes him, aware that no one's coming from this side, so he can watch the other side. It's pretty normal. It's pretty normal. You have Bob playing deep with Teo ult. Okay, we have double ult still. It's kind of crazy. The tap comes in. The Teo ult happens. You can see Fair now ignoring Arcade. Okay, gets killed in the side of the head. Now they immediately Brim ult without waiting for the next tap. I mean, you can even see where the Teo ult is right there. If this happened in a vacuum, I would be inclined to believe that it was an accident. And if also it happened to a team that, hasn't had players playing challengers for multiple seasons now, I would think, okay, maybe that's an accident. But again, we have to just keep seeing it, Fair dies tower. These three are taking the site. Both of the ults have been wasted. So what are we going to do? Well, we still have missiles. So holy shit. It's actually great. Let's see what's happening over here. Bob just sitting there. Stun out. Somehow misses the stun here. Gets run down. Dies. The Brim is literally just sprinting over here. Completely out of the play. And that person dies too. 10-8. It felt like an unlosable round, actually. Let's see what happens on the very following round. We did see that Neon had an op. I think we all saw that, right? And an Impro player typically watching people as they run around at the end of the round. So you definitely want to use some util, especially when you have all this util in this comp. So let's see what they do. It's a good time for your IGL to take a nice jump spot. Oh, well, there goes our smokes. We're going to cook up now. You can see they missile out main. It's actually so fun to watch. They Vice ult because, yeah, like, why not? Let's waste all of our ults on rounds that we can't win. So you can see Bonnie running out of the site. They take the site. Zeke taps the spike. Not plants. There's no util blocking it, by the way. I just want people to realize that. One more look. He's going to tap the spike. Not plant safe. Watch Bob's aim. Tap, tap, tap. I'm just going to sit in the open. Tap, tap, tap. I'll miss a little bit. Tap, tap, tap. Zeke goes back to plant. Gets spammed. Now let's watch Fair in this 1-on-2. Getting spammed a little. Let me just jiggle a little bit more. Run around. Oh, spam that? Oh, okay. Let's just hit him with the unreal A rush. Let's just hit him with it. This is a work of art, quite frankly. So they Teo drone main. They see this op. The Neon dodges the stun. Gets a shot. Fair misses. They run up. Now, look at all of this util. Does this look like a good idea to go through this? They have no dish control. They literally have nothing. They're Teo missiles in front of them. Bob
Bro, I have no idea what's happening.
Stimmed. This Brim is about to molly the other side of this smoke. They don't care. Let's
What the is Teo, Brim? I don't know what's happening here, bro. What the hell is this?
You might be wondering, do they actually get out of this? So they stun the cross smokes, and Bob decides...
This game is so trash, you have no idea what's happening, bro. No, if I was in Valorant, I would never be in Valorant, but if I was in Valorant and I'm seeing like these magics popping everywhere, bro, holy f***. Holy f***. I'm uninstalling, spitting on the game, breaking the disc, on the game. Like, who created this, bro? He needs to... Whoever created Valorant needs to talk to the dudes who created CS2 and together start clearing toilets. Like, bro, them, deport them somewhere to clean toilets. These guys suck at making games, bro. We need the CSGO devs, bro. Those guys knew what they were doing.
Hit a timing. Let's go.
What is this, bro? He's throwing magics from his arm. He's flying. He's elbowing. What a brother. This is like Quake, but Quake for 8-year-old kids. Disgustingly bad. Games have really got worse from back in the days.
Unfucking real. Let's watch Haven just to see, because we could do a side-by-side with Haven, right? Fair play to Haven.
If I was in Valorant, I'd be match fixing as well, bro. Like, imagine having to play this for money. Worse than playing CS2 for money. Let me match fix, chill, not spend time practicing this trash.
Against both teams. So let's just see some what he did against Burger Boys here first, real quick. What are they cooking?
Wait, he's
So you have that
bro.
stall
He's
smoke
still.
that
I ain't got evidence. Haven cheats. Haven throws. Haven cheats. Evidence as well. Evidence I send cheats. I am watching all this cheating, bro. Bro, I'm already fried by watching only this part. Sean Garris, I loved you in CS Go, bro. But this Valorant stuff that you're analyzing, these words that you're saying, like, bro, it's I have low IQ, and listening to this is destroying the little IQ I have.
So we don't know how Fair is cheating, but these are insane coincidences, right? Right after he threw a game, to say it's not happening with all this evidence would literally be insane. And I'm not gonna lie, I do have theories, but I'll leave that for another day. There are multiple teams that I have a reason to believe are also match fixing within Tier 2. Bray himself has confirmed in DMs that Prosperity and Burger Boys are among the teams that are involved. There are other teams that I believe are working with him too. I think SAD Esports is one of them. I mean, some of the matches that I went over that aren't in this video are crazy. And then you have TSM and Ambrosia on a bet for 134 grand. Everything about that match says something weird is going on, including the fact that there are people in that server that mutually follow back Bray and Cooker. And quite frankly, I think it's unlikely that they're going to be betting, 134 grand on a match that they don't know the outcome of, while betting 30 grand on one they do know the outcome of. Now, I don't know if all of these players are guilty or on the in, but what I do know is that as a team, something weird happened, right? And that is proven by my conversation with someone like Practo or Teague, right? These players are singled out. So it doesn't even need to be a whole team that's involved here. And that's something to keep in mind. These players could be getting paid to intentionally underperform. If the odds are right, I don't know. They could be getting paid to do otherwise based on fair, right? I don't know. It sucks to even think this. I have these examples where, Bray literally, I say this, and I've been keeping an eye on this guy, so I have been told, Kane, right, on the 15th, right here, the day that they said they have to move everything to Telegram, I said, you better document it all. There are real-world impacts and repercussions, though, from this match fixing and cheating, and I mean, that's ultimately why I'm here. Shopify Rebellion Black were the Split 1 champions. That's the team that I general manage for. We were set to continue that success in Split 2. The points slot is very important. There's 2 slots that move up to this Ascension tournament. And that's the only goal of your challengers, to ascend to VCT. One of the slots is the point total. So by getting cheated out of playoffs, our point total now is completely messed up. We go from point leaders by winning Split 1 to now maybe, I don't even know how it's going to end up after Split 2 playoffs. And it just sucks to be in a situation where you're in a do or die scenario for Split 3. You must win Split 3 with all of this shit also going on. That's the world I'm living in, I guess. The team's future is now jeopardized. Innocent players all across Tier 2 are potentially losing their jobs and livelihood and facing career setbacks. There's not that many jobs to go around. And another thing in addition to this is players that probably aren't deserving look incredible because an entire game might be staged. So how can you know if a 30 frag performance is even real? None of the reputable organizations, salary paying organizations, want to be associated with a competitive scene riddled with match fixing and cheating. I mean,
don't say that twice, bro, because look how many orgs are in CS2 and it's riddled with match fixing and cheating, and at least in CS2 ESIC banned a few guys because they really had to. It was like way too public.
Personally received tons.
Bro, not even has to do that Essie confirmed the match fixed, and he's on Navi. Wonderful. The guy match fixed. He's in an org in tier 1. What you mean orgs don't want to be associated? They hired a dude who match fixed and his whole team got banned, but he snitched so he didn't get banned. Like, what are we talking about, bro?
Of messages, Chinese VCT orgs asking me if certain players are match fixing, and truthfully, I can't even tell them because I know how many people Bray reached out to. I know that there's no money here. I watch these games and it looks pretty damning, but I'm not going to call out people that I'm not certain of yet. And again, this is why I need the community to help me out here. I know there's so many smart people out there in the community, coaches, analysts, IGLs, that can look through these games and draw awareness to some of the weird stuff that's happening. They can flag some shady behavior in the scene. And I don't know, maybe we can get tips on more ways that this is happening, because it's not just these two. Well, there's other people also sending messages to these players. And unfortunately, I didn't even find out about those guys until it was too late. Since the news broke, Shuffle.com suspended Tier 2 Valorant betting. But, as you can see, it's back. And even when it was suspended, Bray continued contacting
Yo, Proctor, game time in 6 hours. Just want to see if your mind changed.
players, but deleted everything off of his Twitter in the meantime. So it's very hard for people to come into this and track what has been going on. Riot knows about these issues, and I've been communicating with them directly going all the way back to the morning of May 7th. But as a multi-billion-dollar corporation, they probably are going to look in their best interest for their bottom line, and they're going to move a lot slower in their investigation than I would like. Now, crypto and Telegram make this incredibly hard to trace, and that's part of the reason why I think you need to move fast in things like this, because once people know you're onto them, it becomes exponentially harder to catch this. So more than ever, I honestly think we need a replay system so we can catch individual players that are cheating or doing weird things. You have overview shots of scenarios. And thankfully, Anna Donlan announced that's coming out in September.
CS2 has a replay system, it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work, They have a replay system, demos, but they're not accurate, they don't work. And you know what? Valve will never look at them, because they don't matter, As long as you put the key in the case, we're all good. And you have to say, gold, Madrilla, bro. Madrilla, gold. Madrilla, vas.
Man, if we had it now, it would be incredible for something like this.
That's when the game went to bro. The game went to since vas, gold, and Madrilla happened. Like yesterday we talked to that blackjack dealer, even he was like, bro, face it, FPL, FPLC, those were the days, bro. Pros playing, game growing, talents coming in, was happening. It was like troll, but troll with gameplay. Wasn't troll me sitting and opening cases whole day, bro. You had gameplay, you had something, bro.
We need better anti-cheat software. Vanguard.
Since the game became all about skins and cases, it went to hell. Skins, cases, and watching pros play, that's it. No gameplay. Bro, even the gameplay, when you do gameplay, it's like Dima doing like a pro play versus 50 silvers who cheats, like something like it. It's like there ain't nothing good in the game.
Vanguard needs to be updated, and punishments absolutely need to be given to the players that undermine the integrity of this game. There's a lot of suspicious stuff that I haven't been able to include in this video. A lot of stuff has come to me after I sent out that Twitter video, and I'm very thankful for the people in the community that took that risk to send it to me. Even the people that don't want this shared, I have respected those wishes, and there's a lot that's happening behind the scenes regarding that stuff. Thank you so much to everyone that's worked with me, Teague, Procto, and like I said, what you see in this video isn't everything. This is the top of the rabbit hole. We're gonna need to zoom out and see the root cause, but that's for another day.
If you find it hard to create amazing core progression,
Bro, really nice video. We need somebody from the pro in CS2 to do something, and not to me being the only guy talking,